Hello, good evening. Welcome to Buried Stories. This is a special edition Buried Stories. This one is a special edition because there's been a rash of Bigfoot sightings around Ohio. Quite a few. It's making the news, so we thought we'd come on the show here and talk about it. And so, Steve, um, where are these sightings taking place right now?
Well, it's interesting. I actually learned a new word this week that I wasn't familiar with. It's called flap. And flap is a term used to describe like a close amount of close like cryptid sightings. They'll call it like a flap of Bigfoot sightings in Ohio. But so what we're understanding is there were sightings anywhere from around um what's being said is the 6th through the 10th. What they're reporting, and this has been all over, but they're reporting Portage County. There's been a surge in that area. What they're describing is anything from about 6 foot to 9 foot. Sometimes dark, could be black fur, could be up to light brown. People in that area shortly after the sightings are catching smells of musty smelling scents and whatnot. So yeah, some are referring it to an old sighting of what they're calling the Minerva Monster. But yeah,
Minerva Monster.
sightings 6th through the 10th of March.
I got you. And Wendell, you were the first one that sent me a link on this rash of Bigfoot sightings. You caught that off of Fox News, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, I just saw the report and, uh, I guess it was multiple sightings from what I was seeing, so, um, kinda put a feeler out with our Bigfoot expert, but I haven't heard back from her yet whether the official Bigfoot organizations are pursuing investigating this or not. All I heard was the news feed, and then Steve brought it up again, so he must be hearing something there in Ohio also, so but yeah, that's where I got a hold of it.
Wow. Wow. Go ahead, Steve.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but in Ohio, they actually refer, how some states will have different like names for Bigfoot. But here in Ohio, it's called the Ohio Grassman, which I found kind of strange for a term for a Bigfoot. They tend to say that the Ohio Bigfoot are smaller versions of what you would find essentially over in Alaska, Northern California. You'll see beasts out there essentially anywhere, 8 to 12 feet. Here in Ohio, again, it's usually 6 to 10 foot at the highest, maybe 9 foot, but they could be ranging just over 6 foot.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, down here in Florida, it's called the skunk ape. So we all got names for it. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me.
Did you know that there was a rash of Bigfoot sightings going on?
No, I had no idea. This is the first time I'm hearing of this. It's pretty exciting, not gonna lie.
And there's been a lot of people that have been posting online with some of their videos that they've been catching. Tyler, do you got any of those videos?
Yes, I have one right here for you. Would you like me to show you?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, here we go. All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, here we go. And there we go.
Boy, that's fascinating. Here's what I don't understand about that video. I mean, it's incredible. You can tell it's at least looks like it's being filmed from somebody's cell phone, you know? But what I don't understand about that video is did did I wish he would have went a little bit longer in the sense that it just kind of fades out to our right as we're watching it. I mean, why is he taking his camera off that? I mean, that looks like incredible footage.
If that's true, that's the best footage of a Bigfoot that I've seen, especially put out on the internet. All the other ones have been fuzzy. What say you, Wendell?
I don't know if I believe that one. That's like Steve says, that's like the the person that films the UFO and then stops filming it when it's still in range. You just don't do that. Um, you understand? I mean, you see a flying saucer, you put your camera on it. You don't film it for 5 seconds and it's still there in front of you and you stop filming. You just don't do that. And it's kind of a little bit what I get there. There's a lot more to that story if it's true. Um, that wasn't finished off, and I don't know. I'd have to question that. And like you said, it's awful clear, Jeff,
Yeah, yeah,
and didn't look like wild animal type movements to me either. But that's just from first glance.
right.
First time I've ever seen that video.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Tyler, can you see how many people have
Yeah,
watched that video so far? I'm just curious.
yeah. Let me check it out real quick. Uh, I can see how many likes it has. It has over 28,000 likes on it.
Okay, but
Whoa.
it doesn't show you like how many times it's been viewed so far?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, does it look like it's coming from somebody really popular? And the only reason I'm asking this is because, I mean, look, it definitely looks like footage taken from a cell phone, essentially. Um, but I only ask because is this essentially clickbait? You know, is this somebody
Yeah.
who's potentially known for just putting out videos? Or does this look like, from what you could see, Tyler, does it look like somebody who's actually like posts other funny videos of this, that, but then suddenly had an opportunity to potentially catch?
Yeah, I'm
I
checking out
like your
his
way of
channel
thinking.
right
Dig.
now, and he's got 20. Yeah, he's got 28K followers. But my main problem is I'm looking at his videos right now, his other ones, and there's a lot of AI videos on his channel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen the commercials for Jurassic Park, the AI commercials,
Yeah.
the new ones? I think those are the coolest things in the world. You can tell they're AI, but still, they're good. They're good
Yeah. Yeah.
commercials. There's even one with some men's eye cream guy commercial too that's AI, and they're good. And it's going to be so hard to believe any video from now and
Yeah.
on in the future.
Absolutely.
I agree
Absolutely,
with
Wendell.
that. Tyler, any more Ohio Bigfoot sightings from the past recent weeks?
I'm checking out right now on TikTok. Let me see. This one might be a good one. Yeah, let's check this one out real quick. All right, let me
All
share
right.
the screen with you guys. This one is Bigfoot spotted. Reports of Bigfoot sightings in Ohio have been increasing over the past several days, just like you guys said, with multiple witnesses claiming to have seen a large, mysterious creature moving through wooded areas. Could this be the legendary Sasquatch or something even more mysterious? Across the United States and around the world, reports of strange encounters with unknown creatures seem to be happening more frequently. All right, yeah, let's see the video real quick.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Wow.
That's interesting. See, these are the type of videos right here that I'm more used to.
Yeah, I like this one a lot more. This one's a little more believable, I would have to say.
Yeah, there was some weird thing when, the Bigfoot turned to look the other way. I don't know, in the screen there. Um, it looked like he kinda was really fuzzy, and then he was back, portrayed on the screen. So, I mean, that one was a lot more realistic than the other one. Again, it's taking place in the woods, and I'm not gonna say it isn't. I'm not gonna say that it is Bigfoot. I mean, it's more believable than the first one that we saw, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree, but I still doubt it. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the time we're in. It's hard. I can do that. I can do that from
Right.
here. I can show you that video. And, if I can do it, I know there's a lot of most people in the world are smarter than me that can do it. And, the, it's just gonna be so hard to believe video unless there's damage left behind in the future. You understand? Or instead of filming it, you chase it also. Um, it's gonna we're gonna require more. The one thing the old Bigfoot videos have is this technology wasn't available.
Right.
And, so they're more, I won't say credible, but they're more probable. Now, you make yourself look silly believing stuff now.
Steve Wendell brings up a good point. These videos that people are showing, from my point of view, if I took this video, I would run over to where I think I saw it, and I would collect evidence, broken branches, looking on the tree for any hair samples or something like that, because a video is not enough nowadays.
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
like Randall was saying, with technology, you got to go pretty deep now for anything to be credible with some evidence. What say you?
Here's what I'll say. My favorite Bigfoot show, it's called Expedition Bigfoot, has a primatologist on there, and they are all about trying to collect what appears to be evidence, usually DNA. Okay, I've seen them collect, fingerprints on different people who've claimed that they've had Bigfoot come. They live right on the outer rim of like a forest, and they'll get visitation. Sometimes what they think is a Bigfoot will leave a handprint up on a window higher than what a human without a ladder could reach. Here's the thing about the Bigfoot DNA that according to them, it's always unknown and it's very close to human. That's what I always hear, but they can't, even if you took DNA, let's say you saw a Bigfoot and you went out and you snatched a hair off of it, right? You would send it in to be reviewed and have DNA ran on it. The problem with it is there's no technically DNA known for a Bigfoot, right? So all they could say is unknown species of origin. Usually will come back to a primate though. That's the thing. It'll be close to a primate, and we all know, as far as we're understanding, we really don't have gorillas or anything like that here in North America, right? But the closest that DNA usually comes back to is between something of a higher primate and almost human. So even if you collect the best DNA, let's say a hair or a skin sample, and you saw it, you filmed it, and you have this hair, it's still going to come back as unknown. So will people believe it? That's the thing, because even if you have scientists look at it, essentially it's going to come back as unknown until this species actually discovered, logged, categoried, DNA logged, and everything else. Until that point comes, we're always going to look at it as coming back as unknown origin of a species or something like that. So
Got you.
I
Go ahead, Wendell.
I I think another thing we need to take into consideration too is third-party reports. You know, Tyler
Yeah.
talking about my sighting and not mentioning my name, but I take a film and Tyler's the one talking about it because I put it on the internet. I think that that's not enough. The person that saw it, what were you seeing? What were you feeling? Where were you? What were you doing? Um, that person needs to talk about the video, not the guy that has the podcast in Ohio walking in his driveway trying to get you to comment on it. And it's not his video, it's somebody else's video that he found. Just like Steve, the one we found, the one that looks like he's walking through the baseball field, the first one you showed. Where's the guy that filmed it? Where, you know, or the girl? Who did it? And you would think that if you saw something so miraculous as Bigfoot or a lot of other things we talk about, you know it's true. So you'd tell the world, I would think, but maybe not.
Well, Tyler, say I took that last video. Say I was the one with the cell phone and I took the video. Wouldn't it make it more credible if you saw me walking? Not stop filming, but walking where I saw him and like showed you around where he was walking, looking on the ground to see if there's any footprints or hair left behind. Even if it comes back primate, if you got firsthand evidence where it's you can't dispute that I turn the camera off, but I pick up a hair and show you. Wouldn't that make you believe it more?
That would make it a million times more credible. Personally, what I would do after I film that, maybe go back to that area the next day, try to find some evidence of Bigfoot being there. It could be his footprints, it could be a hair, could be anything around that area. Kind of reminds me of that time when that guy was on the Art Bell show and he claimed that he killed Sasquatch and he knew the exact location. And he claimed that he could show you exactly where he buried it. That made it sound a little more credible because he was willing to go that far to you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's easy to
Eh,
put a video out.
yes, it is. Yes. Tyler, did you come across any other ones?
I did actually. This one was kind of interesting. Here, let me see if I could pull it up for you guys. All right, here we go. Wait, that's hold on. Where was it?
actually, I think I've seen this one. This is a good one. That's a good one. Go back to if you can. Go
Is
back
this
to
the
that
same
other
one?
one. Because this is
Yeah,
the
which
Same
the
one we
same
just
one
was
we
it? This
just
one?
watched. But Tyler, go back to that other one with with the American flag. Go the American flag right
The
there.
next one, Ty.
Oh, the
The
American
next
flag.
one, Tyler.
Got it.
Right there. Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, I noticed a problem immediately with that video.
It was volume. Just kidding.
Yeah, definitely had some loud. Well,
Yeah.
You
okay.
see this right here?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead, Ty. Yeah.
Yeah, you see this right here? Sora, that's AI.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Rewind it
Yep.
a little bit. See if you see a reflection off the water.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, that one's to
Interesting.
me was
I don't
way
know how
too
to
good
feel
to be
about that
true.
one.
And then you brought up the fact that Sora was actually an AI driven machine.
Hey, Tyler.
Yeah, I also have
Can you take a look on?
Yeah, what's up?
Go ahead. No, please go ahead. Please.
Oh, I just Oh, I was just gonna say, I found a timeline of people spotting Bigfoot, and it starts. Let me see, I got it right here. March 6th, a witness described a brown, 9 foot tall figure seen outdoors. March 7th, a reported brown, 8 foot tall creature along with alleged footprints and deep grunts. March 9th, a reported black 8 foot tall creature. March 9th, a separate account of a black 10 foot tall figure said to be accompanied by a heavy, musky odor. March 9th, again, a witness reported seeing a brown, roughly 6 foot tall creature from about 100 feet away through a window. And then March 10th, an account describing a 8 to 10 foot tall, large black shadow said not to resemble a bear. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Tyler, there's some check on YouTube if you want to. There's some actual news. I don't know if there's actual footage of, but there's news stories on YouTube from Ohio, like Fox 19, some things like that. Just maybe see if there's anything interesting worthy of playing. But yeah, I mean, what I take, look,
Yeah, let
I
me see what
can't
I can
tell you
find.
guys anything about these videos being real. But I will say I do think that there's credibility with the sightings in Ohio. Ohio tends to be surprisingly one of the higher states for Bigfoot sightings. And so is Kentucky, by the way. Kentucky's real high up there. I would assume West Virginia's probably got to be pretty high up there too, being that we've talked about the Appalachian Mountains, right?
Yeah,
Technically like the bones of the earth, right?
right.
So
Wendell, question for you. What would what video would make you say, "Yeah, that one I could, I can believe."
I don't know anymore, Jeff. Reality is really changing, and not so much for our generation or Tyler's, but the kids coming along after him. What they see on, and I don't mean to go off on a tangent here. I'll get back to your question. The It's even starting to be used in the news. You see what Iran's using to show damage and things in this war thing they got going on, and none of it's real. And 50% of the people, and everybody doesn't have a Tyler on their staff, to point out that's AI,
Right,
especially our generation. We'll look at that video and we're just trying to deduce whether it's a real video or not. They know immediately a lot of times just because they know all the AI generators. But um, it scares me as far as what would I believe. It has to have, I want to see passion from whoever filmed it, that they saw it. And you almost have to have damage. You gotta have evidence left behind. This Bigfoot came in and stomped our car. Oh, well, I wanna see it. You almost have to have evidence left behind to believe it now, 'cause, um, unfortunately, it is disappointing that a lot of talented people are gonna make a lot of these videos. And more every day, and even AI is gonna make its own videos based on previous videos, which just Jeff, you've talked about this, how we're not talking about something being done in days or weeks. You're talking about generation in seconds,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
it's gonna be really hard, especially what we do, especially when we look at what we look at. It's gonna be really hard to make a case for any evidence like Billy Myers or something flying through the sky. At least when Jamie was with us, he had his witness testimony and the passion about it, and I believe you almost have to believe the witness, I guess, is when I would
right.
believe the video. But I'm definitely, what I notice is a really stark trend of people talking about videos, even us, talking about videos, they don't know where they came from, and it's not the person that filmed it that's talking about it, which I think takes away from it. I mean, even if we're gonna talk about a video, it would even be more credible to believe if we're watching a video of the person who took the video talking about it. You
Right.
understand what I mean? Yeah, there's gotta be some passion there, and I think there's gotta be some evidence left behind. It scares the hell out of me because our newscast could start being this stuff all the
Mhm.
time, based and they've taken off all the gloves on both sides of the political spectrum, so they don't care about lying, they don't care about cheating, and they just wanna influence your thought, and, 50% of America watch things and they believe exactly what is shown to them.
I
So
hear that. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, a question for you, Wendell. I was just curious with that. Um, what if you had a I'm just curious on your thought on this. What if you had Bigfoot essentially caught on police like shoulder cam? You know what I mean? Because do you think that that would be more realistic if you had the officer, you see kind of point of view, you see first person, so you see their arms maybe holding up a flashlight, and you could tell it, you could hear the dispatcher in the background, and then suddenly you see a quick glimpse or something. What
it would be if the source and not because they're police, because 'cause I'm not an advocate of police having more credibility than you or me. Um, but if you could, uh, confirm the source and it was a a a cam on a, whatever, a police cam, um, yeah, I think I would probably believe that if the source was confirmed. And I guess that's my evidence that was left behind, that it was a police action. They have documentation. They were there at this point, and these officers were there, and they're the ones saying they saw it, and this is their video cam from their vest. Um, then yeah, you start connecting dots. Excuse me, connecting dots, but it's got to be 3 or 4 dimensional. Now, it can't be just, 2-dimensional flat because it's, so easy, and literally anybody can do it,
Yeah.
and, I mean, the way AI is now, all you have to do is speak what you wanna see, and you'll see it. You'll see it true as can be. I mean, I do it every day, and but, like I said, on one side, it scares me from the standpoint of people can use it as serious manipulation of the public. Um, and then in what we talk about, it just makes our job a lot harder. There's got to be more points of connection to believe any video now, I think.
Tyler, you got one?
Well, my thing is with this whole situation is, yeah, you can have videos, and of course you speculate whether or not they're real. But my thing is the fact that there's been several eyewitness reports between March 1st and March 10th. That's that's really interesting from my perspective because
But they're
there's no
reports.
way.
Have you seen them talking about it? I haven't. I I
Yeah,
haven't
but the
seen
fact
anything
that
on anybody talking about it.
Yeah, but the fact that there's been so many eyewitnesses reports from March 1st and March 10th, there's no way like these people don't know each other whatsoever. So it's it's not like something they're just getting together like, hey, let's just try to get Bigfoot trending right now. It can't be a coincidence that there's so many reports all happening around the same time. I think that
Yeah.
adds a lot more credibility to what's going on than videos right now, honestly.
And what about the fact of all these reports, but the, secondhand videos, like you were saying, isn't just the, reports itself, doesn't that excite you more than seeing some AI videos as
Oh,
far as that goes?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you
care
have
way
any
more
of
about
the
the reports.
Right. Do you have any of the news, stuff, Tyler?
Yeah, I got something from 19 News. I'm not sure. It's a local news from, oh, it says cleveland19.com. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys want me to play it for you guys?
Yeah. Credit to cleveland19.com. Cleveland.
Yeah, all right. Let me get it ready for you guys. I got an ad. I got to let it play first.
Oh, okay. Did you see him walking?
Absolutely. Hopefully he's wearing the suit as well.
I think, he got his army together. Alright.
Can't hear it though, Tyler.
You can't hear it?
No.
No. I'll interpret, though. "Hey, you look good in the blue."
That's so weird.
Back like the old
Oh, man.
days of Christmas Eve there, Jeff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why you can't hear it. Here, let me see.
What
Because I have
happened?
the volume on. Hold on.
Yes, still no sound.
Yeah, yeah. Still no sound, Tyler.
All right, well, that makes no sense because I got sound from my end. I don't know why you guys don't. It was working for TikTok. Did you guys have sounds for TikTok?
It wasn't coming. No. There should be, like, no
That's
difference
weird.
in between any of that. Ah! That's
Looks
Steve
like
at work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Look
Uh,
like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, do you got any other ones, Tyler?
Well, they got a guy
From
talking about it.
different news? Well, if there's no sound on this one, try a different video.
Yeah, I tried. There's got to be another one. Where are they heading? There we go.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the old intro video that we used to use here, but that one they must have messed that up with AI trying to brush up everything or something. But
You can take that video and copy it and just say, "Make this video walking through the streets of St. Augustine,"
yeah, yeah,
and it will do it. And
right.
it's cool. It's really neat stuff. But
It
man,
is.
our reality's gonna be hard to define through pictures.
But I lean
Yeah, that's
towards
right.
what
I
you're
think,
saying, Wendell. I mean, it's so hard to sit there and give credibility to videos. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of passion behind it, whether because I would be like, "Holy crap, look at this," and then you get secondhand people talking about a video that they saw, and a lot of that is for, views and likes and all this and that, but
For different reasons, yeah.
yeah,
Different
yeah,
monetary reasons and others.
right.
It's gonna be hard. We just gotta do a better job of trying to decipher it and, uh, might have to quit our day jobs and go hang out on the streets and chase these
We're in the
things down.
woods, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other ones,
I think
Tyler?
my main question is, why have there been so many more Bigfoot sightings in such a short amount of time recently, especially in Ohio?
All it takes
It,
is somebody to say, "Hey, let's try to generate some let's try to see how many people fall for this." That's, so
Well,
many
what if
people
that
like to
isn't the
see other
case? What if
people look
these people
foolish.
have actually seen Bigfoot?
how about this? From a scientific perspective, right? If they're species, right? If they're going to be could this be somewhat approaching their mating season, right? We talk about deer, right? Generally, the cycles are cyclical, right? When it comes to when you're going to see more deer, it tends to be as they're approaching mating season. right? Maybe, look, we don't know enough about Bigfoot or what they are. I mean, our assumptions based on everything we've seen is a bipedal primate of some sort. We've had prior discussions about what we think Bigfoot is, what it probably is, isn't. Um, and so, I mean, if you just go back to the most basic thought of what Bigfoot is potentially a primate we just haven't discovered yet. And if that's true, if it is true, then just like any other species, they're probably going to have a mating season, and therefore maybe they get a little bit more active during mating season. Plus, by the way, as humans expand, we encroach onto their territory, right? Areas that used to be very much wooded. And also, I would say when it comes to Bigfoot, I mean, look, if they exist, they're bigger than we are, which would mean potentially they would have a decent sized brain. And that would also make you think that potentially, how do we know that they don't have rituals of some sort? I mean, I'm not saying as much as humans do, but maybe they have areas that are sacred to them and time periods that are sacred to them, and we don't know about it. And therefore, if you look at it from that perspective, that could, Tyler, kind of try to help explain why we're suddenly seeing them more. It'd be interesting historically to try to take a look at prior Bigfoot sightings historically in Ohio and round about what time of year we tend to see them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, another
Jeff,
question is if this
Good.
is another species like monkeys or any other primates, why is it so hard for us to get 100% clear evidence that this is a species and they've been here this whole time?
I think they've been really good at being elusive, and the other thing, Steve, is I agree with you. My first thought was, mating season. It is the spring, bears are waking up and everything else, so it could be. We don't know enough about it, to tell you the truth. And I wish we can get some, like, after action reports. Have people been missing their dog, or have dogs gone missing? Is there damage to any property? Things like that. That would add credibility to these reports. Go ahead, Wendell.
No, you asked me about believing video. Remember Patty's Bigfoot story she told? I would her sighting. I would believe that without video before I'd believe any of the video we saw.
Yeah, yeah.
I would believe her story first, just because of her passion. This is what I saw in her description and things like that. So now it wouldn't have been that way 40 years ago. I'd have believed the video.
Right, right.
And then I'd asked her, where's the video or the picture? Um, but I would believe hers a lot quicker than I would the videos we saw nowadays, just because of the time we live in and everything. And I don't buy they're elusive. I don't buy they can hide. If you look at this, the recent war footage that you see, they can see anything. We can see anything from everywhere now from a satellite. So not that the governments want to prove there's Bigfoots. They probably won't spend any money doing that. But all I'm saying is the probability of them hiding and being that damn elusive is highly improbable, I would think, especially being 9 foot tall.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
tend to
not that I
agree.
don't believe them, because I do believe people have seen them, and it interests me of where they come from. We've even talked about some either further stretches about maybe they're not always here. Maybe they come over sometimes or not. I don't know. Steve may be onto something, like he said, coming out of winter into the spring mating season. That would be more animalistic like we're used to, but it also could be something else that they're just not always here, and that day they were for whatever reason.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Steve.
Tyler, to kind of go back to your question a little bit here, like why have we not seen them? Why have we not, here's what I'd say, Tyler. There was a time period where actual gorillas were considered mysterious. Like nobody believed that they ever existed, ever. You couldn't convince anybody until we finally got there, right? Until we finally proved without a doubt. Another great example of this, the giant squid. You know, sailors for hundreds of years talked about the giant squid, how they've seen it, it exists. Now, granted, let's be honest, a lot of those sailor stories might have been exacerbating, like, oh, you know, talking about exaggerating what they were. But we suddenly caught, I think on a fishing vessel, they finally caught footage of the giant squid. And then, I mean, that had been talked about for hundreds of years. But I also think what you're saying, Wendell, which is today's technology is so good. Look, personally, I do think, Wendell, that like the Smithsonian, we've talked about the Smithsonian before. I do think that they actually can prove that they exist in everything. Maybe like we talked about, maybe there's a biological reason, or you know, we talked about medicine. Maybe there's a medicinal reason why they don't, you know, that they don't want things known. There could be a lot of reasons, but I do think that the government's aware of them. I mean, you have signs made now. Granted, could it be made as a laughing, you know? But out in Washington, it's my understanding they have signs made and also brochures and stuff like that talking about different seasons and you know for Bigfoot. So some of those counties out there actually 100% believe that Bigfoot exists. And they don't have any proof to show you. They just again, people telling stories, you know, through generations and stuff. So
One thing, Steve, I gotta take an exception about your sailor talk. I mean, men wouldn't lie about size, right? Anyway,
You've
going
been
back,
debunked.
yeah, yeah, going back to Bigfoot, you know, even the Indians, where they would have like Bigfoot hieroglyphs, and then they also have that portal symbol. So maybe these things do come in and out of our dimension. I mean, it's one of those things that it boggles the mind. It's very interesting, very
It is.
interesting.
It is.
I
so what do
also
you guys
read that
think
the
overall? Ohio, Bigfoot.
Oh, hang on. Tyler had something.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Tyler. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say that I was looking up the earliest accounts of a recording history of Bigfoot sightings, and apparently the first one dates back all the way to 1792, and it was recorded in a journal by someone named Jose Mozino. And the journal was written during a time when the exploration of the Pacific coast was underway by the Spanish and English.
That makes sense to me. You got the Oregon and California and those heavily wooded areas over there. And you're right, there's some massive beasts out that way. So
Well,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I gotta believe in the Bigfoots because my daughter was on the Monster Quest episode, season 3, episode 8, I think, and it was a Bigfoot episode. So, do I believe people have had sightings? Yeah, I do. I truly do. You know, people see things and they're passionate about it. I like that, and it's a mystery to try to solve. Um, this clear cut video that we've been wanting to see all of our lives now, you can't believe it now that we have it because it's generated. So,
right. Tyler, any last thoughts on this as we wrap up this special edition of Buried Stories?
My last ultimate question is I'm going to start with Wendell and then we'll go around. What exactly do you think Bigfoot is? And we're going to start with Wendell.
could be it's the most logical thing I would say it would be as a species we haven't discovered. We've seen and you know, maybe Jeff's right. They are just that elusive or so few and far between. Um, the missing link, you know, of evolution. Something. I think there's something out there. I don't think there's as many as we hear about sightings, as far as the numbers of them. I think they're very rare. I really don't. I can't get my mind around them coming in from another dimension. Just maybe so. It's a possibility. I just can't get my mind to wrap around it right now. I think it's more likely that it's a species it's either a species we know that has morphed into something else, and has a few different ones around, like gorillas that aren't quite gorillas, and they're not quite human beings, but they're something different, and that would be a species we don't know about, I would think.
Yeah.
So
What
I
about
think
you, Dad?
that's the most likely thing to me.
Me, I lean towards the interdimensional because a lot of the times these sightings also are accompanied by UFO sightings around the same area. So I think there's a correlation that these things come in and out of our dimension. We just don't understand it yet. And I've stated many a times thinking things can come into our dimension and shape shift to whatever they want. So that's my point of view on it until I get further evidence to sway my thoughts on that.
And what about you, Steve?
Um, I mean, in my opinion, if Bigfoot exists, this is an unknown species, something like I said, in between humans and some high intelligent primates. Um, I don't look at these things as, I mean, obviously they're wild because they live in the wild. But I think they're much more intellectual than even, definitely, I think they're closer to humans when it comes to intellect than I would thinking that they're closer to an ape or a gorilla. I mean, I think that these things could have their own tribes essentially. You know what I mean? Tribes, and I think that they have to essentially keep their numbers low, kind of like we talked about a little bit about the giant of Kandahar, right? They got to keep their numbers relatively low because they got to stay away from as much of humanity as they possibly can, and then secondly, they're of a size that they're going to require a lot of energy to exist, right? I mean, they're going to require more food than we eat on a daily basis. And let's be honest, they don't have access to our technology like refrigerators or anything like that, to my knowledge. So, I mean, these are species that are probably going around, maybe hunting. I would definitely say hunting. I think these things work together, and I think they travel in family packs, like, but very small family sizes. I don't think these things get into much more than maybe 5, maybe 6 at the most in an area, but I also don't think that they all travel like, I would say you're only gonna see maybe 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky at a time. I think they're smart enough to travel away from each other as they're heading towards the same areas, but ultimately, that's what I think. I don't think that this thing's interdimensional. I think that this is just something we hear about and we have heard about for hundreds of years, but I think this is something we just haven't put our eyes on yet well enough. And in a way, part of me, I'll be honest with you, part of me, as much as I want us to discover one, I kind of want to keep it secret because I'm afraid of what we're going to do to it when we
I will
find
tear it
it.
apart.
We'll tear it apart. And that's sad to me because something is sophisticated as Bigfoot. I don't want to put it in a zoo. I would rather they catch one, you see it, and they let it go back out into the wild and go, hey, we've at least been able to prove that it exists, but we're not going to mess with this thing. Because the second you prove it, you're going to have a bunch of people going out there with guns trying to monetize it. Just what we do as humans. So,
Yeah. What
That's a good
about
answer.
you answering your own question there, Tyler?
Well, I just want to say if they were in family packs, that means there should be younger Bigfoots. But I personally never seen small Bigfoots before. I've only seen the really big, tall ones in video form, obviously, not in person. But to answer my own question, I'm kind of leaning towards my dad's answer that they're more interdimensional beings because I've read and heard they've been associated with UFOs many times. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Keep an
entirely
eye out
believe
for
that.
UFO sightings in Ohio.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I have a hard time kind of believing that too, because if they are interdimensional beings, then what do they have to gain coming to our dimension? What are they doing here? That's my main question. If they're interdimensional beings, why are they
Might be
here, and what do they
might
have
be
to
fun.
gain?
Might
Yeah.
just be fun to them.
Yeah.
Just
That
something
Time
they
and
slip or something.
There's no
in
Bigfoot
their
experts,
dimension.
though, because we haven't found one, so don't believe there's Bigfoot experts or
Yeah, that and in
UFO
their
alien
dimension,
experts.
what are they in their dimension? Because from our perspective, these are like primates, but what are they like in their own world? Are they kind of like us? Like, I don't know. That's kind of my question. It really gets the mind
Well,
going.
Tyler, I don't know if you've seen that great documentary, Star Wars. It has a Chewbacca in it. Yeah, that's done in their normal habitat. Anywho, that's us from Buried Stories. This has been the special edition about the Bigfoot sightings, a flap, as Steve said, of Bigfoot sightings in Ohio. So if you're in Ohio and you see this and you have seen one of these, please email us or leave a comment below. Reach out to us if you want to tell your story at buriedstory74@gmail.com. Until next time, keep playing hide and go seek there, Sassy.